A dad who had his arm amputated following a horror motorbike crash has been awarded £700,000 in damages, but says he will never forgive the driver responsible. Darrell Gibbard, 31, was on his way to work on his Yamaha R1 bike when a car suddenly pulled out in front of him while he was legally overtaking traffic. As he couldn't brake or swerve in time, Darrell was hurled off his bike and landed 15 feet away from the crash site and also suffered a severe spinal injury. The injury paralyzed Darrell's right arm, and he also broke his jaw, suffered a punctured lung, and fractured 8 of his ribs. 7 years after the accident, the case has now been settled out of court and Darrell was awarded £679,000 in net damages from the driver's insurance company. He said, "I know most people would have packed in their day jobs, but that's not me. I don't want my injury to define who I am. Although it is harder welding with one arm, I'm still very good at it. I haven't been on a motorbike since the crash and will never again. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's what my family want, so I have to respect that. The settlement has given me relief that they'll be okay. But although we're now mortgage-free, if I could trade my arm back, I would do so in a heartbeat. I would encourage motorists to be mindful on the road and remember, it only takes a slight lapse in concentration to have life-changing consequences on others and yourself." After the crash in 2015, Darrell was rushed to William Harvey Hospital in Kent where he underwent surgery on his broken jaw. But he has also suffered a brachial plexus injury which caused spinal nerve damage and meant his dominant right arm was paralyzed. Recalling the crash, Darrell of Herne Bay, Kent said, "My life flashed before me. The driver pulled out without any warning. The next thing I remember was waking up in hospital. I'm grateful to be alive, but the impact has changed my life." He added, "I was moved to King's College Hospital in London and remember willing my arm to move, but I couldn't feel it. You never think you're going to lose your arm, but I soon realized it was serious. I kept thinking about how I was going to support my young family, and a bit of panic sets in at that point." After 5 weeks, Darrell was transferred to the specialist Royal National Orthopaedic Hospital where he underwent spinal surgery to try and restore sensation in his arm. However, because of the severity of the injury, doctors told him he would need his arm to be amputated, which he had a year later. The dad of 3 said, "My arm was a dead weight, so it was like carrying a bag full of shopping around daily, which affected my surrounding muscles, so it was recommended for me to have an above-elbow amputation. Because it was my dominant arm, I had to completely retrain my left one. Certain things I took for granted like cooking, writing, changing nappies, or even playing catch with my son became frustratingly difficult. They might seem like little things, but to me, they're part of being a dad. My wife Jade has been incredibly supportive, and I couldn't have got through this without her. The toughest part is getting over the mental trauma, as the initial anger was difficult to deal with. I try not to think about it, but sometimes I do wonder how my life would have been. I can't ever forgive the driver for what he did. I'm still suffering today. I have neuropathic phantom limb syndrome, so I still feel as though my arm is there, but feels like it is being burned and crushed at the same time. I need painkillers every day." Amina Ali, a solicitor at Barings Law who represented Darrell, said, "I'm thrilled to secure a significant settlement for Darrell and it was a pleasure working with him. Although it's not going to take his injuries and pain away, it does give him some justice for what happened and financial security for his family. I wish them all the best."